You remember the girl who's the face of the Obamacare website? Well, there was a great story about her. I think it was ABC that covered it. Her name is Adriana. She's not a citizen yet. She's from Colombia, but she does have permanent residency status, which is almost like a citizen, and she's about to become a legal citizen. So she does qualify for Obamacare. She isn't a model. She didn't even get paid to take that picture, which is just kind of like a stock photo that you can find anywhere on the internet. And you can tell when it's a stock photo. You see them all over the place on a whole bunch of different websites. They have a certain like aura to them where it's like a standard smile and an average to good-looking person, not like all-out supermodel, but just a decent to good-looking person. So everybody knew, or most intelligent people knew, that that's what we're dealing with here. It's just a stock photo. Well, she's now being bullied by conservatives. She said, quote, I don't know why people should hate me because it's just a photo. I didn't design the website. I didn't make it fail. So I don't think they should have any reason to hate me. Here are just a few of the comments that were directed towards her. Quote, classic, the face of the Democrat Party, non-Americans, vote Dem and kill your country. Another quote, she represents what Obama and his ilk believes who are the real Americans in this country. Non-whites, illegal aliens, baby killers, gays and transvestites, socialists and communists, and all adults who become victims because they will not claim responsibility for their actions. Okay, there's so many ways in which that's an insane comment. We'll come back to it. Another comment said, glitch girl. Another one says, the most despised face in America. So as she was there for this report, it was ABC News, she was literally crying. She was in tears talking about how she'd been bullied because her face was on the Obamacare website. Now, here's my question. Doesn't this just prove that, number one, the people on the other side of the aisle just aren't that bright? Now, look, I understand that that's a broad, general comment, but what we're talking about here is the base on that side is more rabid, they're more obnoxious, they're more loud, and there are more of them. I mean, let's be honest, let's not do any false equivalence here. So doesn't this tell us that, but doesn't it also tell us that what these guys do is they hate everything that's associated with Obama and the Democrats viscerally. It's got nothing to do with the actual policy. It's got nothing to do with the substance of any given law. It has to do with the fact that it came from the Democrats. It came from people who consider themselves to be left-wing. Therefore, it has to be evil, and it has to be from Joseph Stalin himself, who wants to now rape your grandmother. But this is what we're dealing with. I want to go back to that one comment because it really just shows you, it highlights the insanity. This shows you who Obama thinks the real Americans are. Non-whites. So what, there's no Americans who are non-white? No, but that's just not true. There's a significant minority population in the U.S. They're just as American as anybody else. This is a nation of immigrants. I love these people who think like, illegal immigrants, get out of here, you damn illegal immigrants. But, so what the fuck, what, are you Cherokee? Are you here, are you Algonquin? Are you a Native American? No, you're not a Native American. You were also an immigrant at one point or another. I mean, these guys are such hypocrites, it blows your mind. But baby killers, gays and transvestites, really? So this is who Obama represents? Socialists and communists, really? President Obama, who cut taxes for 98% of the American people. President Obama, who when he had a supermajority, went out of his way to make the stimulus package 1/3 tax cuts for the right-wingers. President Obama, who did the healthcare reform that came from the right-wing think tank, the Heritage Foundation. This is another reason why it's unbelievable that the Republicans are this outraged by Obamacare. Look, I knew they were going to be somewhat insane and opposing it because they're Republicans and it's proposed by Obama. No surprise there. But the level of how much they hate it. I mean, again, it was the Heritage Foundation, a right-wing think tank, that proposed it. In the 1990s, you would be hard-pressed to find any Republicans who didn't agree with the individual mandate. Mitt Romney proposed it in Massachusetts. It is the healthcare law in Massachusetts right now. You know, Chuck Grassley was in favor of it. Bob Dole was in favor of it. Richard Nixon, when Richard Nixon was president, he proposed something very similar to this. I mean, does anybody think for a second that if Ronald Reagan proposed this and it passed, that the Republicans would not think it was the best thing since sliced bread? I mean, it's so clear it hurts, man. So clear. If George W. Bush proposed it, they would be singing its praises endlessly. I mean, George W. Bush did Medicare Part D, which was an expansion to Medicare, except it was all the wrong type of expansions, because it just gave a massive amount of money, handed it right over to the pharmaceutical companies, right over to the healthcare companies, right? So it was nothing but a blowjob to corporate America. But the right-wingers were singing the praises of that. What happened, guys? I thought you were against big government in principle. That's as big government as you can possibly imagine. Nothing but a giant welfare check. But see, when their team does it, they love it. Which again shows you they're not dealing in fact, they're not dealing in reality, they're not dealing in substance, they're dealing with visceral, primitive emotions.